Welcome to G-Tips Beauty Company, where we serve you glam on a silver platter. Here is a preview of the stencils that we're going to be creating. I did a very simple design with hearts and a few stars, and you can pretty much create whatever design that you would like or that your client would like. And so let's get to it. I've got my Cricut design space pulled up here, and I've got this picture that I've got off of Google that I'm going to use as a guide to kind of help me position and size the design that I want to have in my stencil. So I'm going in with some really basic shapes here. I'm going to use a heart, and then later in the video I'll be adding a star. And these are just basic designs that you can do that are really cute, but they're still beginner friendly. So you don't have to be like a tech whiz or like a freaking graphic designer to be able to do this. You know, these are real simple shapes and designs that you will be able to do. So I'm taking my picture here, I'm rotating it so I can see it as if I was working on a real client, and then I'm going to put the heart, kind of gonna position it in a nice place to create the design. So here I'm just moving my heart around a little bit to kind of get an idea of when it's the actual stencil, and I've got my airbrush and I'm creating the design on the nail, what it will actually look like. So I'm gonna add a few more hearts here to kind of see what I want to do with the stencil. And at this point you have full creative control. You know, you can play around with it, do your hearts in whatever design that you like, because this is going to be your stencil when you finish. So play with your hearts and see how you like it, see how you want them arranged. Now that I've got my stencils designs arranged, I'm going to move this background picture out the way because it's no longer needed, and I'll take my hearts and I'm going to kind of move two out of the way as well, because you can only work with one at a time. Now I'm going to take this square shape because this is going to be the shape of my actual stencil. Your stencil can be whatever shape you want it to be. You can have heart shape, star shape, literally whatever you want. I'm just doing a square shape because that's the shape of my stencil. It's gonna I am making it smaller because the bigger it is, the more paper it's gonna use, but it's literally just the actual outline. It's not the actual stencil, so you know, it really doesn't have to be that big. So I'm gonna send it to the back. I'm gonna right click and I'm gonna click send it to the back, so that way the heart shows up on top of the square. Then I'm gonna select all of it. I'm gonna select it all as if it's a group, and in the bottom right corner I'm gonna hit slice. This is going to separate the layers of the design. So I'll move away the first layer. The second layer is another heart, but this third layer is the actual stencil. So you see that kind of heart that appeared down at the bottom right corner because that's the second layer, but the stencil, the actual outline, is the third layer. Now I'm taking the heart and I'm putting it back on top of the stencil because I'm going to repeat the process. I'm going to repeat the process about 2 or 3 times because I want to add more hearts to my actual stencil design. So we've done it again. We place the heart on the stencil design, and right here I'm just deleting all these extra hearts because now I know that when I hit slice, it's going to create more hearts that I can use that'll be the same size. So I've got my heart arranged. I'm going to right click it and make sure my border is all the way at the back and my heart shows up on top. Then I'll select the entire design, and then we'll hit slice to separate the layers, and then we'll remove the layers. So here I'm doing it again. I made this heart a little too big, but I'm deleting that anyway. So here I've got my heart. I'm going to put it over my stencil. I'm going to make sure the big square is in the back. I'm going to select the entire group. I'll hit slice in the bottom right corner, and this is going to allow me to create that outline as I remove the layers. And like I said, I'm just repeating this process a few times, so that way as you see the stencil here that we're creating, you can see as we're adding the hearts Ooh, excuse me. As we're adding the hearts, it's going to create this super cute heart design with multiple hearts as we continue to make it. So as I put it over the nail, you'll kind of be able to see here we've got the stencil. We'll put it on the nail. I'll go with my nail airbrush, and it's going to produce these super cute hearts. So I'm just going to move this out the way because now I'm going to make another one, and this one is going to be stars, and we're pretty much going to repeat the process of making it small, make it to the same size as millimeters as if it was on an actual nail. We'll go in with our square background here. I like to make my square background small because as you see, The stencil designs are going to be very small, as you see with the heart design. So I'll place the square on top of the star, right click, send it to the back. Make sure that small star is on top of your square, and in the bottom right corner, you're going to go down and hit slice, and it's going to slice the layers, and we're going to repeat the process the same as with the hearts. So this is me repeating the process a few times here. I'm going to select the entire group, hit slice, move that layer out the way. I'll take that star, I'll delete that second star, and then I'll take that first star and I'll reposition it over the stencil. And now I'm kind of gonna get a little fancy with it. You know, you can add stars, you can add hearts. I'm gonna kind of create this little super cute kind of star as if it was a star in the distance. So you can really just play around with different shapes and see what you want to do. So here I've got this diamond shape, and I'm gonna make it super slim, and then I'm going to duplicate it. Once I've duplicated it, I'm going to turn that second one, I'm going to rotate it so that it's horizontal while that first one is vertical. And then I'm going to place the horizontal diamond that is now slim on top of the diamond that's vertical. And this kind of creates like a star as if it was just twinkling in the distance. And then we'll add this design to the stencil as well. Like I said, you can create whatever you want. Literally any picture can get broken down into shapes. So you can create what you want, you know, get fancy. I'm going to add this little twinkle twinkle here to my heart design. And that's just going to, you know, it's going to take my stencil up a notch so that now we're not just going to have stars, but we'll also have this super cute twinkle here. So it'll be hearts along with that cute little twinkle to kind of add that kind of star effect to the hearts as well. So this is going to look super cute in our part 2 video where I'll show you guys me actually using the stencil. Now I'm going and placing my little twinkle, and I'm just resizing it so that my twinkle is a little smaller than the hearts that I have because of the design, the effect that I want to create. I want my hearts to be nice and big, and then I want the little star twinkle to kind of be smaller, kind of as if it's in the background. So I made it just a little bit smaller, and then I'll resize it. I'll reposition it on my stencil. I'll group it all together, and I'll hit slice. Then I'll remove my outline layer, and I'll do this again about 2 or 3 more times to add a few more little twinklinkles in the stencil with my hearts. And so this will kind of take my heart design up a little bit because it'll kind of look like, you know, you got the hearts, and it'll kind of look like you have a little star, a little twinkle of light in the background. So that's going to come out really cute. Like I said, you want to select it all in the group, and in the right corner you're going to hit slice once that option becomes available. If it's not selected in the group, slice won't be available. So you want to make sure you select the entire image as a group and then hit slice in the bottom right corner as well. So now I'm going to get a little fancy with my stencils. I'm going to create kind of like a cluster design of hearts and stars. So over the next few seconds, I'm just going to randomly add in some stars and some hearts in this cute little cluster design. So that way, when I go in with my airbrush over my nail, it'll kind of look like hearts and stars grouped up together, and it's going to look beautiful. I'm literally loving it as I'm putting it together. So I know on the nails, it's going to look super cute as well. You see that heart? And then look, I'm going to add another heart kind of in the midst of this heart and this star. So you'll position it how you want. I'm putting it in this like little cluster design, so I'll have them kind of grouped together here, but not grouped so far together that you won't be able to see the actual design, or that the machine won't be able to cut it. And then I'll group it all up, and then I'll slice it, and look, as you see that little small heart up there by the star. And I'll just keep going a few more times to kind of randomly put the stars and hearts in the place here, and then it's going to create the super cute cluster design that's going to be another stencil that we're going to cut out in just a moment. And so I've got my two stencils here. I've got the cluster hearts and stars design, and I've also got my heart and star twinkle design as well. So these are going to be the two stencils that I'm going to be cutting out in just a moment. I'm excited. Yes. So here's I'm doing something that I should have went back and did. I should have deleted this picture. Once you're done with your stencils, once you've tried it out, you've put it over your outline guide, you've tried it, you've seen it, you liked how it looked, you know, you tried both stencils. I'm liking how this is looking. Now delete your finger picture, because on the next portion it's going to act like it wants to cut out a finger as well, but we don't need the finger to be cut out. We're just going to cut out the stencil design, and I'm saving my project because you want to save all of your hard work. You didn't just make these super cute stencils for nothing. You want to save them just in case you're going to be using them in the future. And so let's get to cutting our design. We're going to hit this super cool make it button in the upper right corner, and let's get to it. And see, this is what I was saying. If you don't delete that picture, it wants to act like it's going to print and cut your finger picture out, and we don't want to print and cut this picture. So I'm just going to go back really quick and delete that finger picture so that I'm just cutting out the stencils. Now that I've deleted that finger picture, we're going to hit that make it again. We're going to make sure we select our mat and select our size, and we're going to get to starting the cut. Now I like to bring the design down a little bit to ensure that it's on the mat all the way and it'll be completely covered by my paper. Now you can hit mirror. It's totally up to you depending on how you want the design. I don't have mirror on for this one. I do have my machine hooked up via USB, and here you can see me cutting out I'm going to cut out a square of my cardstock that I have. I do have it in orange because Halloween is coming up, so I'm definitely feeling the Halloween vibes. I'm getting the festivities. So I've laid my cardboard out on my mat, and now I'm going to go in and watch it cut out the design of my super cute hearts and stars. When you lay it out on the mat, you want to lay it out very flat. I do have a tool that allows me to make sure my paper is super flat, so when it goes in to do the cut is nice and crisp, and the paper is not rising up causing the cut to mess up at any way. So as you see now, I'm taking my weeding tool and I'm pulling out these. They're super cute, but I don't need them. So I'm pulling out these super cute cuts of the star and the heart. These, you can save them if you're into, you know, crafting, if you save your scraps, and I don't know what you could use these. I guess you could encapsulate them depending on what type of material it is. But since this is, you know, just some poster board, some cardstock, I'm just gonna weed out the things that I'm not using, and I'm going to throw those in the trash. But as you see, this is my stencil design. This is why I said you wanted to make the square small, because you see there's a little bit of excess paper that's not needed because there's no design down there. But the super cute cluster design, oh my goodness, it came out so cute. And we've got the hearts here, and you can see how the machine was able to cut out the little twinkles. So this looks so cute, and I'm going to pull it up really gently because I don't want it to tear. They're only made out of poster board, so they're not that strong. But these are the stencils that I've made that I'm going to be using on our part 2 nail set. Oh my goodness, these came out so cute. This was so easy, and this is something that you can do right at home to take your manicure design up to the top. Here are the stencil designs that we've created. Stay tuned for part 2, where I'll show you how I actually use the stencil designs with my airbrush on my nails for super cute nail art. Bye!